Hey, if you follow NASCAR, buckle up, because the last few hours dropped some stories that you absolutely cannot miss. Chase Elliott just did something at Martinsville that nobody saw coming, and his crew chief Alan Gustafson is the name everyone's talking about right now. But hold on, that's just the beginning. Bubba Wallace is trending for all the wrong reasons after one of the messiest moments of the season. And trust me, what the fans had to say about it? Even wilder. Stay until the end. This is too good to skip. Hit subscribe and let's get into it. The gutsy pit strategy that sent Chase Elliott straight to victory lane at Martinsville. Let's be real, Chase Elliott had a solid car at Martinsville on Sunday, but it wasn't the kind of car that screams, "I'm winning today." Sitting in 9th place deep into Stage 3, a top 10 finish looked like the ceiling. Most crews would have taken it, played it safe, and moved on. Not Alan Gustafson. The number 9 crew chief made the call that changed everything. On lap 261, he pulled Elliott onto pit road for green flag stops, first car in, way before anyone else even thought about it. It was a 2-stop strategy in Stage 3, which is exactly the kind of move that either makes you a genius or gets you roasted on the radio. Gustafson bet on genius. The rest of the leaders pitted about 30 laps later, and just like that, Elliott inherited the lead on fresher rubber. But there was a problem. Denny Hamlin had been absolutely dominant all day, and coming out of his own stop on newer tires, he had enough juice to chase Elliott back down and retake the front spot. The number 9 team needed something. They needed a caution. And they got one. A debris yellow brought everyone down pit road one more time. Elliott came out second behind Hamlin, set up for a fight. 2 restarts later, Chase found his way back to the front and held off Hamlin in the closing laps to take the checkered flag. First win of the 2026 season. Job done. Gustafson was pumped, and humble about it too. He told Fox Sports the team was essentially stuck in a rut, running around 10th with almost no way to move forward through traffic. The math was close between a split run and a 2-stop, and he just felt it was worth the gamble. The caution was the cherry on top, handing them track position when they needed it most. Before Sunday, the story out of Hendrick Motorsports was all about their rough start to the year. 6 races in, and not a single win for any HMS or Chevrolet driver. Gustafson brushed it off publicly, saying the outside makes it a bigger deal than it really is inside the shop. But there was one detail that let you know the pressure was real. Rick Hendrick called him Sunday morning. The boss. And while Hendrick's message was calm, all about the long game, marathon, not a sprint, Gustafson admitted that when the owner of the team calls you on race day, it gets your attention real fast. By the end of the day, that call had a very different ending than it could have. Alright, so that's one massive story from Martinsville. But if you think the drama ended with Elliott's burnout, think again. What Bubba Wallace did out there has people talking. And this one just dropped. Come see this. Bubba Wallace had one of those days that starts bad and somehow finds a way to get worse. And right in the middle of it all, he made a move that became the most talked about moment of the entire race. Here's what went down. A couple laps before the incident, Carson Hocevar went 3 wide on a restart, and it clearly got under Wallace's skin. 2 laps later, going into turn 3, Bubba came in hot and shoved Hocevar hard into the corner. Then, right in front of the entire field, Hocevar got spun out, triggering a massive multi-car crash that took out several drivers and flipped the race on its head. It looked intentional. It looked like payback. But Wallace insisted afterward that it wasn't. Talking to Fox Sports after the race, he said he misjudged the center of the corner and didn't mean to actually turn Hocevar. He acknowledged he didn't appreciate the 3-wide move on the restart, but said the spin wasn't the plan. He called it a frustrating day and said he hated it for his team. It's the kind of explanation that's hard to fully buy when you watch the replay. But that's what he said. The fallout was brutal. Wallace ended up 36th and dropped 8 positions in the point standings, falling from 3rd all the way down to 11th in one afternoon. His 23 Hex racing teammate Riley Herbst also got caught up in the wreck and suffered terminal damage to his car. Austin Hill, Zane Smith, Chris Bescher, and several others were also swept up in the crash. Ironically, Hocevar, the guy who started it all, walked away with a 17th place finish after his team made significant repairs to the number 77. Not a great day, but way better than the guy who spun him. But the story doesn't end with what Bubba said. Because while he was giving that explanation, NASCAR fans went completely off on social media, and what they had to say is the kind of thing you don't want to miss. This one just hit the internet. Let's go. By the time Bubba Wallace was done at Martinsville, he wasn't just dealing with a bad race, he was dealing with the entire NASCAR fan base coming for him online. And they did not hold back. It started with the NASCAR on Fox broadcast calling it out in real time. Wallace drove flat through the number 77. No hesitation, no debate, just a straight up statement. And that opened the floodgates. Fans went straight to social media, and the comments were ruthless. One person said Bubba has the emotional maturity of a middle schooler, and that it couldn't have happened to a better person. Another compared him to his team co-owner Denny Hamlin, saying both of them make contact and then blame the other guy for being there. Someone else called him a guy who can't control his emotions and said fans had been fooled for a while. Another fan kept it simple and cold. One word: horrible. And the timing couldn't be worse for Wallace. While all of this is going on, his 23-Depanian racing teammate Tyler Reddick has already racked up 4 wins this season. The team itself is having a hot year, just not the side of the garage with Bubba in it. Wallace has been struggling to find his footing all year, stuck in the shadow of a teammate who keeps going to victory lane. Sunday at Martinsville was supposed to be a chance to turn things around. Instead, it became another chapter in what's shaping up to be a very difficult 2026 for the number 23. What a Sunday at Martinsville! Elliott and Gustafson showed that smart racing beats talent every single lap. And Bubba? Man, I love the competitor in him. But that move was tough to defend. Here's my question. Does Wallace turn it around in 2026? Or is the gap to Reddick just too big now? Drop it in the comments. And subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.